Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. The Houston Rockets unfortunately lost last night in double overtime by 1 point to the defending champions of the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, it was disappointing. It's an unfortunate loss. You want to come away with a victory there, and it really does suck because it felt like the whole basketball game up until maybe the last 6-8 minutes of the fourth quarter that Houston was the better team. OKC's defense was insane. Houston's defense was insane. Alperen Sengun was a beast amongst boys. Kevin Durant in the first half was on fire. He was scoring at will. It looked like he was going to have the easiest 30-piece we've watched since James Harden era. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get the job done. So we did a rapid reaction last night. And it's been a while since I've made a video like this, and this is the way I love making my Houston Rockets videos. So welcome back to the channel, or welcome. Hit that like button. We're trying to get this channel back on track. I usually do this in a stream format, but I wanted to test it out because I love just talking into my phone using my little mini microphone. I've got a bunch of comments, so we're just going to kind of go through the line and extrapolate as we see fit. So starting with Kevin Durant, 9 of 16 from the field, 9 rebounds, 23 points. He had 4 turnovers. First half, as I mentioned, he was scoring at will. And it was so weird because in the third and fourth quarter, but specifically the fourth quarter, it did not look like Kevin Durant. Now, I used to have a pretty hot take on my NBA show that I used to do every day with my boy Ciro Aseo, and I always used to say you can't build a team around Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can't be your number one option, and this is even this is Golden State era, this is Phoenix era, like Houston era. Now, you can't build a team around Kevin Durant. You never could have. My point is, maybe in, Oklahoma, whatever, you can build a team around Kevin Durant. My point just is, and I said this yesterday, people still need to get better. Alperen Sengun still needs to be the face of the franchise, and that's what he was last night. Alperen Sengun clearly was the best player on the court. 39 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He went 12 of 24 from the field, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, and 5 of 8 from downtown. He had a career high in threes. So I don't mean that in a rude way to Kevin Durant. What I just mean is Alperen Sengun still needs to be the face of the franchise. Amen Thompson still needs to turn into a star. Reed Sheppard still needs to continue to develop. Tari and Jabari need to do their roles, and they need to keep improving. And you get the gist. Like, just another analogy. Imagine 1 year ago if the Oklahoma City Thunder, before they won and made it to the NBA Finals, imagine they traded for Kevin Durant. It doesn't just fix and solve everything. Shea still needs to be Shea. Shea still needs to be the best player on that court. He still needs to be the franchise guy. So Kevin Durant in the fourth quarter and overtime, before he fouled out, and KD took responsibility for it. He said 2 plays. There was one of them, why can't I think of it? I don't know if he was talking about he dribbled the ball off his foot and then he fouled Shea on the last possession of the game for Oklahoma and it won them the game. He pretty much put the loss on him, and Lou Dort played him phenomenally. Like, Houston or any other team will not play a more difficult defense than the Oklahoma City Thunder. The way they clog the passing lanes, the way they help and trap on defense, the energy they play with, it's why they just won the NBA Finals. So the good news for the Rockets is defensively, you're not going to play a more difficult team. So we saw Reed Sheppard sometimes struggle with turnovers. We saw KD even struggle with turnovers and just stupid, mindless mistakes. We saw Tari Eason play probably the worst game I've ever seen him play. I highly doubt I'll ever see him play worse in a Houston Rocket uniform. Not to be rude. Amen Thompson, obviously, his calf tightened up and he wasn't able to finish that game. If Amen is able to finish the game, do the Rockets win? In my opinion, probably. But just to go off of that Kevin Durant point, it's still clear. And like I said, I do think if Amen was on that court in double overtime, it goes a little bit different. The Rockets still need somebody else. They need some type of ball handler in the backcourt that isn't on this roster. Even if Reed Sheppard turned into a 6th man of the year like we're all hoping he is, you still need somebody else back there. And I saw somebody tweet out, I think it was like Roosh Williams or somebody tweeted that Lonzo Ball would have been perfect for the team. That's exactly the style of player and the player profile that I'm talking about. They need like a Lonzo Ball-esque player. Maybe it's better that Lonzo because of injury history, but you get my point. It was evident in crunch time. It was evident at the end of the fourth quarter and in overtimes that Houston, outside of Şengün, putting the team on his back when KD's getting clamped, they just need somebody to operate the offense a little bit more efficiently and coherently. And that's where Fred comes in. And this team with Fred, truthfully, would be absolutely terrifying. Jabari, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 of 15, 2 of 6. I feel like he was on Shea. They played zone in overtime. I feel like he was on Shea for all of overtime, which, once again, if Amin Thompson was there, maybe it probably goes a little bit differently. Maybe the outcome is, OKC still wins, but the outcome or the way it happened would have been a little bit different. I felt like Jabari played well. I liked Jabari's willingness to take the three. I liked he had a really nice pump fake on Chet for the left-hand layup. I felt like he settled in as the game went on. I think he actually even scored the first 2 points for Houston. I thought Jabari played fine. Well, rather. Steven Adams, 37 minutes starting. He had 5 offensive rebounds. He had a couple of points, 4 points, 13 rebounds in total, 1 of 4 from the field. That's one big lineup, and I'm curious as the season progresses what these lineups are going to look like, because he played 37 minutes, and it was a double overtime game. Alperen Şengün, already said my piece on him. Franchise player, face of the franchise, the guy you build around, the guy they've been building around. He is Houston Rocket basketball, and it's been so cool to watch him live in action blossom into the player he's turned into. And it looks like he keeps adding tricks to his bag. And the 2 most promising things for me is the 10 of 11 from the free throw line, which I feel like is being under-discussed. And obviously the career high 5 of 8 from downtown. I said this in our film study yesterday. When Alperen Şengün got the basketball, he would take the 3. And I feel like in the prior years, maybe got a little bit better at this last year. But I felt like in Şengün's first couple of years, when he would get the basketball at the top of the key or whatever, he would pump fake it, look for a pass, the defender sagging off, and then take the shot. So I loved the confidence. Amin Thompson, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, steal and a block, 0 of 7 from downtown. I know Amin's not a good 3-point shooter, and we're all hoping he turns into one. I don't think Amin Thompson's going to go 0 of 7 from downtown all that often moving forward. I think that was just a one-off game. And first quarter scoring, he was awesome. Fourth quarter crunch scoring, he was awesome. And I believe he's okay, and it was just a calf tightness, calf injury, or calf prevention. And yeah, I can't wait to see Amin. And, even he played distributor in the first quarter, which I loved. Moving to the bench, like I said, Tari Eason, probably the worst game he's ever played. He did have a huge block, I believe, to end overtime, where KD called the timeout and the ref didn't see it. I don't think you'll ever see Tari Eason play the way he did. He looked like a scared puppy at times just because OKC, Tari and Jabari are not the best dribblers, and that's just, Houston needs another dribbler. OKC's defense, in my opinion, is just that good. Clint Capella, we oddly only saw 8 total minutes from Clint Capella in that basketball game, so not too much there. Josh Okogie was huge, man. He was absolutely huge. Keep in mind, DFS is recovering from his left ankle surgery, so he's going to be back. He's going to add a whole nother element to this Rockets offense and defense. But I felt like Josh Okogie played his role very well, and not a guy who's going to show up in the stat sheet, especially getting only 20 minutes in this game, but I thought he did good. And then finally, Reed Sheppard. People are blaming the loss on Twitter specifically and solely on Reed Sheppard. I just saw a tweet, which is kind of the reason I wanted to hop on the mic. Somebody said, if Aaron Holiday plays Reed's minutes last night, do the Rockets win? Because I think yes. Reed Sheppard went 3 of 11 from the field, 2 of 7 from downtown. He had 4 assists, a couple of turnovers, and 9 points. Oklahoma City, in the first quarter, when Reed checked in, they went at him. Reed's got to get better in one-on-one defense. There were some plays like in the fourth quarter / overtime where it was Shea and Reed one-on-one, and I was like, oh no. I don't think the loss is solely on Reed, but I do think people should temper expectations as far as immediate impact in a sophomore campaign. I mean, the hope and goal for me personally with Reed Sheppard this season, excuse me, would just be that by the end of the year, he's ready to go and play meaningful playoff minutes. That's what I'm hoping and expecting from Reed Sheppard. He had 9 points. One of them was a nice backboard three. He had one specific play where he just went down into the paint, got some separation on his guy and pulled up for a nice little mid-range. And I really liked that. I won't lie. But there were moments, once again, just like Tari and Jabari, where those Oklahoma City Thunder defenders were trapping him like crazy, and he looked a little bit, timid and hesitant out there. So at the end of the day, it's just one game. It's a very small sample size. You went on the road to the defending champions, double overtime. Amen was hurt. I think it's as good of a loss as you possibly could have. This is hopefully a Western Conference final preview. So that's it from me, folks. No editing, just raw video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Let me know your thoughts on the Rockets, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon.